Mountain Sledder Garage. Today we're going to talk about the Alpha 1 rear suspension and how to check and adjust your track tension. It's a little more important to check track tension on the Alpha suspension than is a dual rail, because if it's not tight enough, you can cause a lot of damage to your hyrax in a short amount of time. And the reason that is we're going to grab the camera and bring it over here, and we'll show you up close. So the track clips right here. You can see that little guy, it runs in between, there's two hyrax, this black plastic, there's two of them side by side, there's a little about 1/4 inch crack in between the two that runs in between. If your track is too loose, your track can get off to the side and start digging into your hyrax and dig big holes into it. And I'll show you right here a little bit if you can understand. This is a hyrax off a sled track clip. Now the track clip's supposed to go like this, just slide on here, but if your track is too loose on an Alpha, this track clip slips over here to the side and starts digging into this flat surface here. And what you'll see on your Alpha is, if you look under here, in the track clip, there's a little hole right here, and you'll start getting plastic hanging off those holes if your track's not tight enough, and it starts digging into your hyrax and tearing your hyrax apart. You'll actually see little pieces of plastic stuck in those holes. I've seen it before on a number of sleds. It digs giant grooves in the bottom of your hyrax and can wear it out really quickly. Now, in order to adjust that, we're going to need to do a few things. First off, we're going to need to loosen the wheel, and to do that, we're going to have this is a through bolt, so we're going to have this 10 millimeter on this side, there's a 13 millimeter on the other side. We need to loosen the axle so we can move the wheel back and forth. So we got that loose. And if you come over here, we'll show you in here, this is the locking nut that locks this adjuster into place, and we want to get our open and wrench in here and loosen that locking nut so we can move this bolt. So that will allow us to adjust the track. Now, for the track itself, we're going to come over here to our TV, and we're going to show you, this is out of the owner's manual. This is the rear suspension, so we want a digital scale. We're going to hook it to the track there, we're going to pull down, and it says here we want pull down 25 pounds of force, and with 25 pounds of force, we want a gap down here between the track and the hyrax of about 2 inches. So we're going to go back over here, and we're just going to show you how to do that. It's a fairly simple procedure. You can use a fish scale, you can use whatever you want. For me, it's a little easier to get down here on the ground. It says to hook it onto a track clip about right there in the midline. We turn our scale on, get our ruler, and we're going to pull down on here. For 30 pounds, I'm going to let up a little bit. There's 27, 25 about right there. Now I'm going to measure from the track to the bottom of the hyrax, and I'm about 23 pounds. That's about 25 pounds. I'm about 1.75 inches. So I'm a little bit tight. So what I'm going to do is, so I've already loosened my lock nut there. I've loosened the nuts on my wheels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to want to loosen this counterclockwise a couple of rotations. That's going to loosen my track just a little bit. And we're going to see what that does for us on our track tension. So we're going to go back over here. We're going to pull down again. We're at 23, 26, so we're just a little over 2 inches at 25 pounds, so we went a little too much, so we're going to want to maybe a half a turn on this, tighten it up, and then pull down again, 25 pounds, and right at about 2 inches, so perfect right there. We're going to want to come back here. The lock nut on the adjuster, we'll need to tighten that back up so it doesn't come loose. And then we're going to want to tighten the axle nut as well. There you go. You have it right there. Now there's one other thing to check on your rear suspension here. Is there's been a lot of problems over the last couple of years. This little bolt here that holds this rear arm in place, this little bolt, either the threads strip out because there's a bolt on this side that goes into the rail, And on the other side is a bolt that goes in the rim. These are just 10mm bolts. They're little bolts. And one of the problems I had, these are bolts break off or they strip out and this comes loose. And that's another thing you don't want to have happen. So in another video, look for the video entitled Repair of Rear Scissor Arm Bolts. There's actually a kit that Arctic Cat has come out with to repair this. And in another video, we're going to show you how to do that.